Well, Iran unveiling its latest military advancement, and it is a new tank that they build themselves. Tehran says this is it. This tank will be mass-produced. They say it can fire precision-guided missiles, and they claim it can face any sophisticated armored battalion anywhere in the world. Well, this comes, as you know, just days after Iran successfully test-fired a naval missile off its southern coast. And those ballistic missile tests keep on coming, as well as those little speedboats continue to harass U.S. naval warships near the Strait of Hormuz. So what does all this continued provocative behavior mean? And can the West try to rein it in? Danon joins us. He's the Israeli ambassador to the United Nations and former Israeli Deputy Defense Minister. Ambassador, good to see you. Thank you for coming in the studio.
Good to be here. Thank you, Eric.
When you see that tank, you were a former Deputy Defense Minister, so you know about the tanks. What does that mean to you? What do you fear? Is this a game changer in potentially facing Iran?
It is another proof of the real intentions of Iran. They continue to arm terrorists. And this particular tank, it will not be only used by Iranians. It will go to Hezbollah and to other terrorist groups. That's what they are doing. They're developing missiles, technology, and then they share it with terrorist organizations all over the region. That's why we have said it very clearly. It is about time to stop the aggression of Iran. They are in defiance with Security Council resolutions. And I think that the Western world should say enough. Enough with the aggression. It's not only about the ballistic missile test. You know, last year they had a ballistic missile test, and they wrote on the missile, we should destroy Israel completely. So we believe it when we read it, and I think that other countries in the Middle East, when I speak with ambassadors from Arab countries, they are worried about those pictures as well.
Well, you have an interesting dynamic in that Sunni Arab allies of America, some of them are obviously dealing with Israel, and they're very concerned about Tehran's intentions.
Absolutely, because Tehran is a threat to everybody. They are using commercial flights from Tehran to deliver missiles to Beirut and Damascus. Now they want to build a seaport in Syria, in Latakia. So they are expanding their weapons, they are expanding their abilities, and I think we should work together to stop it.
You mentioned the tanks going to Hezbollah. Do you really think there's a situation where you could have tanks like this on your border? I mean, Israel could not stand that.
2005, we engaged with Hezbollah. They had about 10,000 missiles. Today, Eric, they have 120,000 missiles, Hezbollah. So they continue to get money, they continue to get missiles, and we are very worried. You know, Prime Minister Netanyahu flew to Moscow to meet with President Putin, and he discussed the issue of the Iranian weapons that are coming to our region, and eventually they will be used by Hezbollah against us.
Did the Russian president give the Prime Minister any reassurances about Israeli worries?
We speak with the Russians a lot. We know that they care about it, but you know, when we will have to fight, it will be the Israeli fighters against the Hezbollah. And when we see the technology, when we see the missiles, we know that we have to get ready for that.
You mentioned the Prime Minister's visit to Putin in Moscow. Let me read you an editorial that's in the Jerusalem Post today. There's a new dynamic seems to be appearing in the Middle East region because of Iranian behavior. This is what the Jerusalem Post says this morning. Quote, the Prime Minister's renewed efforts to put the Iranian threat on top of the U.S. agenda came after Trump's inauguration, which ushered in an administration with an instinctively more hardline approach to Iran than that of the Obama administration. Netanyahu believes there is a unique opportunity now to enlist U.S. support and, to a lesser degree, British and Australian support for ensuring that Iranian violations of the nuclear deal are punished. He also hopes to curtail Iran's conventional capabilities, which are not addressed in the nuclear deal, conventional capabilities like those tanks. Do you think if Iran violates the nuclear agreement, that they will be punished, or will this be swept by again in the Security Council?
From the beginning, we said it was a bad agreement. It was a bad deal, and it is still a bad agreement. But let's at least enforce the agreement. Maybe we should speak about new sanctions or a new agreement, but let's at least start by enforcing the sanctions on this bad agreement. And I think it is about time that we will discuss what we are doing with Iran. It is about time to discuss new sanctions against Iran.
So finally, quickly, how do you think this will play out? What do you hope happens next?
I think the new administration made it very clear that we will not accept the aggression coming from Iran. We will not accept it. And when I speak with my colleagues from the Middle East, they also said it is enough, it is about time to take action.
Well, some thought there'd be a change with the Iranian nuclear deal. We apparently have not seen that so far. Ambassador Danon, thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
Usually in the Security Council, today in the studio with us here at Fox News.
Thank you.
Ambassador, thank you.